Hi everyone, Ronnie here. You're listening to Clean With Me, the podcast where I talk you through cleaning your house. Thanks for joining me in today's short episode. We're going to clean your kitchen, and then we're either going to clean a bathroom, get rid of some clutter, or clean your bedroom. And I'm going to be talking about decluttering and weight loss as we go. If you don't need to lose weight, just ignore that part. But trust me, you're going to love this episode. Let's get right into it. The first thing you might want to do if you're already feeling presentable is put some fresh wax in your wax warmer or light a candle. If you're not feeling presentable yet, you might want to pause the episode and get ready. It doesn't take much to get ready to clean, but we all have different things that we do that help us feel ready for the day. There may be coffee involved, changing into an outfit that's comfortable yet nice, stuff like that. If you're going to be cleaning a bathroom and using a bleach product, of course, don't wear an outfit that's important to you. But for most light housework, we can look nice while we're doing it. So anyway, speaking of looking nice, I work remotely. My daughter likes to joke that, I work in a pair of cut-off shorts and a dressy blouse because I wore that like once or something. But in general, I try to match on the top and bottom, even though they don't see that part. Just because I want to feel good about how I look and I want to look nice for my family. So, for example, I often wear like a black blouse or even a black t-shirt that's kind of fitted because, you can kind of get away with that looking dressy. And then some palazzo, like some black and white palazzo pants or some other striped palazzo pants. I don't know if you even call them palazzo pants, but that's what we called them back when I was a teenager. But just some like loose-fitting, comfortable pants that could go dressy or casual. That's kind of my work from home outfit. And sometimes I wear the same pants to do light housework that doesn't involve cleaning with bleach. Another thing you might want to do while you're gearing up for your cleaning session is start some laundry. Oh, and I was going to say, sometimes looking presentable could involve removing some old makeup with a baby wipe or makeup removing wipe. I used to buy some really expensive makeup removing wipes that were like cucumber scented, and I've noticed that the Huggies wipes now come in a cucumber scent, and I already really liked Huggies naturals for removing my makeup. And yes, I realize you're supposed to do it the night before or whatever, but some of us don't always do that. And you got to kind of, clean up around the eyes before you head out the door or just to feel presentable for the day. So that's a money-saving hack. If you're buying expensive makeup removing wipes, you may want to try the Huggies natural care cucumber scented ones. So just throwing that out there. I cover a lot of topics on this show, and obviously my show is geared mainly toward women because I'm a woman, so some of my stuff is relatable. However, I do have men who listen to the show, and of course everyone is welcome to listen, and I appreciate every listener just as much. But we do cover some things like makeup removing wipes. But anyway, let's see how much time. Well, I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds to gear up for your cleaning session. Another thing you might need to do is straighten your front area. If you're like me, you have an irrational fear of someone coming to the door and the front part of your home is a disaster. It's an ongoing battle at this house because our family room and living room are one and the same. It's the front of our house. And I was happy this morning when I got up and realized that my front room was already looking good. The goal is for it to perpetually be clutter free. Like the way I was growing up, if you took off your shoes while watching TV or something, you better take those with you when you leave the room. Okay. And I'm not as strict about that, but I'm trying to run a tighter ship as far as keeping that front room tidy. So maybe you need to straighten up your front room. No judgment here if you're the one messing it up, but for a lot of us, it's other people in our family. I feel like I'm the one who cares the most about that front room. And my husband is a very clean person, but to him, the kitchen is everything. So he would clean the kitchen probably before straightening up that front room. So, we all have different household priorities. And obviously the kitchen is big. I'm not downplaying the importance of the kitchen. On that note, let's head to the kitchen. While you're working in the kitchen, I'm going to cover some topics, decluttering and weight loss. I'm going to give you my thoughts on weight loss. I'm 50 years old. I feel like I know a little something about weight loss. And don't be offended if you think I'm thin and you're like, why are you talking about weight loss? You're so thin. Well, first of all, I probably weigh more than most of my listeners. I'm just tall, and the way I'm shaped, like people can't tell how much I weigh. So I am overweight. So I hate to even say that out loud because it's not really how I view myself, but I'm trying to lose a little weight, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. Let's get started in your kitchen. The first thing you might want to do is gather up dishes from around the house. Okay? Maybe you have a coffee mug on your nightstand. Maybe your husband has last night's dinner plate on the nightstand. Maybe your teenagers are hoarding dishes in their room. Or maybe you just need to move some dishes from the table to the sink. And yes, I realize that everyone should take their plate to the kitchen, rinse it off, and either leave it in the sink, by the sink, or put it directly into the dishwasher, whatever your system is. However, we don't live in a perfect world. And this show is not about, I don't think this show is really for people who are super neat and tidy. Their whole family does everything right as far as housework. Because there are families that, do put things directly into the dishwasher and just don't leave anything out, and every member of the family is that way. I mean, at least I think there are. I mean, yeah, my aunt, when I was a kid, kind of that way. Like, everybody was trained to put things directly into the dishwasher. Her house always looked perfect. So there are a few people like that. But we don't have control of every person in our family. And let's face it, a lot of us are part of the problem. It's me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Can you tell I watch a little TikTok? Anyway, heavily caffeinated this morning. Don't mind me. But this show is not for people who are super tidy, but just want to listen to me while they deep clean surfaces. This show is about getting down to those surfaces first, and then hoping we have time to wipe those down. So that's the struggle sometimes. Let's see here. Once you gather up your dishes, if you need to, it's time to get started. But some of us might need to put away some clean dishes. See, the obstacles to cleaning are all these preliminary tasks, okay, before we can actually clean surfaces. Some of us might need to empty a dish drying rack, or a towel, or a dish drying pad where you have some stuff stacked, or empty the dishwasher. Some of us might need to put away clean dishes before we can start washing dirty dishes. And of course, if you're ahead of the game, if things have been going right into the dishwasher, or you haven't been eating at home, or you just did dishes recently, and maybe you're listening to back-to-back episodes, of course, go deeper in your kitchen cleaning. There are so many things that need to be cleaned in your kitchen, okay? You can wipe down cabinets, you can wipe down surfaces, but some days the first order of business is dishes. So get started on your dishes, whatever that means for you. Maybe you need to do an empty, reload, and run if you're using a dishwasher, and then wash a few remaining items by hand. Maybe you need to do a pre-rinse and start that first sink load. whatever doing dishes means for you, just be working on dishes for the next, I'm going to say 15 minutes. So you want to go at a pretty quick pace, okay? Doing dishes is probably not your favorite task. The goal is just to keep moving, and you may be overestimating how long it takes to get those dishes done. So just be working on them, and I'll talk about some stuff while you do that. So decluttering. In your kitchen, you may come across something that needs to be decluttered, and it may happen while you're doing dishes. This happened to me literally last night. I was washing dishes, and I was scrubbing a large white plastic cutting board that I've had for I don't know how long. I scrubbed it with like the brush on a handle. I scrubbed it with the Scotch-Brite scrubber, that thing that has, where you can put dish soap in the handle. I scrubbed it with a rag. I was doing everything I could and just thinking like, this looks really gross. It's still discolored. And then I realized that some of the plastic was starting to peel off the harder I scrubbed. And I was like, no, this thing is no longer smooth. Like, the smooth finish has been compromised. And this could be the case with many items in your kitchen. Like if you have a Teflon pan and stuff starting to peel off, okay, that goes in the trash, folks. It's toxic. So anyway, I threw away that cutting board when I realized that the plastic was literally coming off the more I scrubbed. Okay. And no, that's not going to leave me in a lurch, because I have a really nice wooden one that has a nice smooth finish. And then I also have a smaller plastic one. So it was one of 3 cutting boards. Also, I kind of have a thing where I don't want to have too much stuff in circulation, because I don't want it to be possible to have like a huge backlog of dishes. I use the term dishes loosely because I'm including things like cutting boards and whatnot. And I realized that you may be thinking, well, what about when I throw a party? What about when I host a holiday meal? Yes, there are certain things that you use for that, but you can still put them out of circulation. For example, certain pots and pans that we only use once in a blue moon, like a tamale pot or a turkey roasting pan or a giant platter that I put the turkey on. Those things go out of the way, like in a cupboard up above the fridge that's super hard to reach. Like you may need a chair to get to this cupboard. I'm tall, you may need a chair. But you can put things away somewhere if they are items that you use maybe once a year, twice a year. Those items can be put away. I mean, maybe you need 3 or 4 cutting boards when your sisters and your mom are helping you cook on Christmas morning or something. Some of those items can be taken out of circulation, and if you only need 1 cutting board for your everyday meals. Does that make sense? And cutting board is just an example. Insert the item there. But yeah, when you're scrubbing things and the surface is peeling off, that's over. That's done. That's gross. Throw it away. Okay? So definitely while I'm doing dishes, and also while I'm folding and putting away laundry for that matter, I try to take things out of circulation that need to be taken out of circulation. So hopefully you are plugging away on your dishes. I talk about a lot of things, but my goal is to keep you focused on your housework. This episode isn't about me. It's about you. It's about what you can get done during the episode. So keep working on those dishes. And of course, if you're ahead of the game, deep clean surfaces. You can be cleaning out your burners if you don't have like a flat cooktop. You could be cleaning out your microwave. There are a lot of deep cleaning tasks that you can do in your kitchen. You can organize a cupboard. You can clean out a drawer. You can organize your spices. You can sweep and mop. You can get on your hands and knees and scrub your floor around the edges. There's a lot you can do. So, of course, work on your dishes until they are done, and then start cleaning your surfaces from the top down. But most of you are probably still working on dishes. That's got to be done before we can get to the business of cleaning surfaces. And I may not be exactly accurate on the times because I got to keep talking, but I'm going to give you roughly 7 more minutes on dishes, and then we will talk more about surfaces. So keep plugging away on your dishes, whatever that means for you, or surfaces if you're ahead of the game. Give yourself a pat on the back if you don't have any dishes to do. But even if you spend this entire episode just getting caught up on your dishes, no judgment here. That's one of the main purposes of the show, is to get you through that task, especially this episode. Some episodes I don't focus on dishes as much, but I really want you to get caught up on your dishes today. It's going to feel good when you get that done. If not, keep working in your kitchen. But while you're in your kitchen, I'm going to talk about weight loss. Fad diets. I don't be offended if you're just like really big on keto. I'm pronouncing that weird. If you're really big on keto or trim healthy mama, I'm not sure that's that popular anymore. What else even is there? I don't know. But I've never been big on keto. I'm a carb queen. I love my carbs. Low fat would probably be easier for me, but I'm not really big on that either. My theory, and this isn't scientific, this is just based on my own experiences mainly, but my theory is that diets that have you cut back on a certain food group or not eat certain food groups together, the reason that they work for some people is because the food isn't as good and people don't eat as much. Let me explain. If you're not allowed to eat a fat and a carb together, like let's say you're allowed to eat potatoes that you roasted and you put salt on them, but you didn't cook them with any oil, you didn't put butter on them, like just maybe a baked potato with just salt, but you can't add sour cream, you can't add butter. That's not going to taste as good, and you're probably not going to eat as much of it. Okay. So that's kind of my thought on why that works for some people, but I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's sustainable. And I also feel like it's irritating. Again, don't be offended if you disagree with this part. With this show, chew up the meat, spit out the bones. Okay. Since we're talking about food, but really, I feel like you should be eating a balanced diet, and that, for me anyway, let me not, be so dogmatic about it, because obviously if a certain thing is helping you to lose weight and that's improving your health overall, and like being overweight was more dangerous than not having the balanced diet or whatever, I get that. The body kind of adapts to different diets. The human body is amazing. So I get that. But my personal belief is that it's better to practice portion control. So for a while I was watching this lady on TikTok that was talking about how she listens to her body's natural hunger cues and goes by that. Yeah, that didn't work out for me because my body is telling me to eat a lot of food. There's a natural tendency for your body to just try to maintain its current weight. Okay. And, there's a purpose for that because, to keep you from starving or whatever. And, those fat stores. Okay. But, she was onto something, but doing exactly what she said didn't really work for me. It's all about the mindset, and what's working for me right now is totally different. So let's backtrack a little bit. Circa 2020, this is right before the pandemic, I think. If I have the timing right, I'm not sure. If you've been really like hanging on my every word, you might even remember when it was. But because I've been doing this show for years, I think since 2018. But at some point, I lost 16 pounds, and I did it by calorie restriction. I was on the MyFitnessPal app, and I was basically recording my meals. I would enter what I ate. Like, okay, I had, 1 egg, 1 pat of butter, 1 piece of toast or whatever. Or I had a, burrito supreme at Taco Bell. And the app would recognize most things. And so I didn't really have to read a lot of labels or really count the calories because the app would do that for me. And I lost 16 pounds that way. The good thing about it for me was that I wasn't being irritating. Like I didn't have to like announce to my husband I was on a diet, which he wouldn't have liked at all, or a plan. Even if you call it a plan, like let's face it, we all know it's a diet. Um, you know, he sometimes he cooks a lot and he wants me to eat what he cooks. So by just controlling the portions and entering everything into that app, I was able to eat at restaurants and be fun and eat what's put in front of me, so to speak, just not everything on the plate. And I was losing weight. Okay. But I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of too busy to even enter things in an app. And the other drawback with entering everything you eat is that it kind of causes you to think about food throughout the day. Like you're maybe eating a small lunch and then you're just, wow, I can't wait till dinner because I still have like 900 calories in my budget or something. So yes, it worked in a sense. I did gain most of that weight back. I didn't gain all of it back. I think I never gained the final 5 pounds. So 5 pounds of that was permanent weight loss, I guess you could say. Anyway, one thing that I did notice, and I've gone back and forth with that app, is that for the first couple of days, by the way, it's almost time to clean surfaces in your kitchen, so wrap up those dishes. But for the first couple days of kind of logging my meals in an app, and there are other apps, but I use the free version of MyFitnessPal, and the paid version I don't think is worth it. I tried it once. I even did that Noom thing. Not worth it. I prefer MyFitnessPal. But anyway, for the first couple days, it felt like I was hungry. It felt like I was depriving myself because you do get used to eating the number of calories that it takes to maintain your current weight. You're probably not just gaining weight by the day or by the week. You're probably just at a higher weight than you want to be. And in that case, your body kind of craves instinctively to eat, enough food to maintain that weight. Okay. The other thing that I noticed with the app is, it would tell me, I could choose how many pounds I wanted to lose per week, like half a pound a week, 1 pound a week. But I found that if I stuck with the budget, I was losing faster than that, which told me that I could actually eat more calories than what they said. The main thing is just that you're eating fewer calories than you were before. You will gradually lose weight. So, but what I've noticed is every time I've gotten back on a calorie counting or logging program, for the first couple days, that's when I'm likely to fall off the wagon because I'm super hungry for like 2 days. You have to realize that you're going to have to push through just a couple days. It's going to feel like this is not sustainable. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to eat this tiny amount of food all the time. I can't stick with this. But trust the process. You've got to push through for a couple days because you'll find that you're not as hungry. For me, it's like 2 days and then I'm not as hungry and I can get used to getting by on less. Okay, let's talk about your kitchen for a minute. By now, most of you are probably done doing dishes. If you're not, that's okay. We all have situations where we're facing a disaster, and no judgment if you have to do dishes the rest of the episode. But for most of us, it's a typical day and dishes are done. So start cleaning from the top down. Maybe your cabinets need a swipe, or maybe your microwave needs to be cleaned. If you have one of those, I'm saying from the top down, assuming that you have one of those microwaves that's like up higher, but you might not. It might be sitting on the counter. Mine is the one above the stove. So part of cleaning from the top down is cleaning the microwave. But, if all your dishes are done, this might be a great time to wash that turntable that's inside of your microwave. If your sink's empty, great. Wash that. If your cabinets need a swipe, wipe them down. And then, of course, you're going to wipe down your countertops, your stove top. the area behind your sink and around the faucet, don't neglect that area, of course. That could be a hotbed for germs. Your sink itself, and maybe you need to scrub your table and chairs, especially if you have kids that are getting it sticky and whatnot. And I know you may be going through a phase where you don't use your table. Right now, my 13-year-old daughter's in the middle of a lot of art projects. So she has that stuff kind of spread out on the dining room table. And that's okay because I want her doing that in the kitchen and not over the carpet, her painting and whatnot. Everyone's lifestyle is different. But there's another place to eat, which is at our breakfast bar. So that's fine for now. And, if I announce a family meal or whatever, she can put that stuff away or put it to one far end of the table, and then we could still all sit down. So, be working on your kitchen surfaces. And of course, once you've done the countertops and whatnot, you're going to possibly need to sweep. And obviously, not everyone needs to sweep as often. And if you have a good vacuum, or if you're just feeling lazy and you're planning to vacuum the rest of your house, maybe you have carpeting, you could always vacuum your kitchen. It's better than not sweeping it at all. One podcaster that I listened to, Dana White of A Slob Comes Clean, talks about the fact that if you make yourself clean or sweep your kitchen, it forces you to remove items from the floor. You may have like a case of bottled water, I don't know, just a random box in the corner, whatever. But if you sweep the floor, it's going to force you to pick up your kitchen floor in case there are items on the floor that need to be removed. The same principle holds true in a bedroom. That's why I always tell my kids, clean your room and get it vacuum ready. We may run out of time and I may not have them vacuum in that cleaning session, but by telling them to get it vacuum ready, they're going to do a better job. They're going to make sure that they remove everything from the floor. So just some thoughts there. I'm going to give you about 5 to 10 minutes. Let's do 10. I think you need 10. I'm going to give you 10 minutes in the kitchen, and then I'll give you, 10 more minutes to complete another project after that. So be working in your kitchen for about 10 minutes. I think I'm giving you more time than usual, but you've got to deep clean your kitchen. Obviously, doing dishes isn't enough. It might be today, but at some point, on a very regular basis, you need to deep clean your kitchen. Maybe you have crevices on either side of your stove, between the stove and the countertop, and you need to wrap a disinfecting wipe around a butter knife and clean out those crevices. I don't know what kind of problem areas you have in your kitchen. Maybe you need to put away some appliances or some clutter that's sitting out, or maybe you need to really scrub your floor. Just continue working in the kitchen. And I'll keep talking about this kind of weight loss thing. So anyway, I talked about, MyFitnessPal, the calorie thing. A lot of people fall off in the first couple days. Maybe it's longer than a couple days for you, but for me, after a couple days, if I make it through those first 48 hours, I'm eating less. I don't know the science behind it, but I call it my stomach shrinks and I'm not as hungry. The intuitive eating thing comes into play in a way, but let me tell you what I've done lately. I'm not sure how much I've lost, but I've lost at least 4 pounds, possibly more, on this, recent, I don't know. I don't want to call it a diet, really, but diet, I guess you could say. But I'm not on a strict plan. I'm not even counting calories, but I'm losing weight. And it's the same principle, though. It's by eating smaller portions and not restricting anything. But what the epiphany that I've had recently is that when I'm real hungry, and it's good to let yourself get a little hungry. I'm not saying go all day without eating because then you could binge and all that. But I'm also not one of these people that's eat the 6 small snacks throughout the day. I think it's good to let yourself get hungry between meals. But I think what happens is just before a meal, when we're hungry, we tend to tell ourselves, man, I'm so hungry, I need a really big meal. Just because you feel hungry doesn't mean that it's going to take a large amount of food to satisfy you. And this may seem obvious, it may seem like common sense, But you really need to have these conversations with yourself because it's all about the mindset. Let me give you an example. I work remotely, and this is kind of lazy of me, but it doesn't dirty a single dish. And what I've been doing when I start to feel hungry, I pull out a Smucker's Strawberry Uncrustable out of the freezer. Okay, it's like this little peanut butter sandwich. It has 210 calories. Again, I'm not counting calories, but obviously I've looked at the label. Okay, I'll pull one of those out, let it sit for about an hour. That's about how long it takes for it to thaw enough, just enough to where it's still refreshingly cold, but no longer frozen. It might take about an hour depending on the temperature of your house. But I'll pull it. It's super small, and it doesn't seem like it would be a meal. You're probably thinking, yeah, right, 210 calories, this tiny sandwich. Okay, and I know what some of you are thinking. That's so unhealthy because it's probably using the kind of peanut butter that has hydrogenated oils, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you could duplicate this by using like half a slice of your favorite healthy bread, putting an all-natural peanut butter on it, and maybe for the jam or jelly, putting some like Simply Fruit on it. You could definitely go clean with it. You could make your own bread. Okay, but this is just something I've been doing lately. Believe me, I do buy the like Skippy Natural and stuff like that. I'm big on that. But this is just something that I've been doing lately because these cold little sandwiches just hit different than one you would make yourself, okay? So that's what I've been doing. But when I eat that, I have some extra calories. I might have like a sweetened coffee with it. I might have a glass of milk with it. I might have like a little pudding cup with it. Or I might have, like, basically I get one little thing with it. It could be one of those like cutie oranges, the little tangerines, I guess. Tangerines. Yeah. Anyway, those little tiny oranges that are easy to peel. It might be, might be one of those. Some of the brands are like Cutie, Halo. It could be an apple, whatever. But I'll be honest, I don't usually pair it with an apple. I was on an apple kick like a couple months ago, but got burnt out on that. But anyway, I'll have something really small with it. And I used to think like, oh, I'm going to eat one of these. And if I'm still hungry, this is kind of the intuitive part. If I'm still hungry, I can get another one. There's more of them. But don't pull two of them out of the freezer thinking like, well, these are 210 calories. 420 is still pretty reasonable. I'm going to pull out two of these. No, just one. Just one. You would be surprised how satisfying these are. And like I said, you need a little something with it. You need, either a piece of fruit, some pudding, or a glass of milk, something. Don't go crazy on the glass of milk, though. When I'm talking about a glass of milk with one of these, it's small, you might only need like half a cup of milk. Anyway, everybody eats differently. This may not be for you, but I'm just telling you kind of what I've been doing. I'll have my morning coffee, which often has like a scoop of Ovaltine in it, or I'll buy one of those Gasp Starbucks bottled Frappuccinos. Those have like 270 to 300 in the bigger bottles. But if that's my entire breakfast, it's fine. If I make my own coffee, the calories are going to be a little lower, but I'll have a coffee, and then kind of as an early lunch, I'll have this Uncrustable with some other item as a supplement. By the time dinner rolls around, I'm hungry, but I'm not just absolutely starving. And then I'll just kind of limit my portion there. Like, it used to be normal for me if I made hamburgers at home to eat two of them. Last night I made hamburgers. One was plenty. And I didn't even make fries to go with it. It was just a hamburger on a bun. I even had a little grape juice with it. Okay. So again, I'm not cutting things out. I'm not saying like you can't have any sweet drink. Obviously, water comes into play. But I'm also not one of these that's like you need to drink, X amount of ounces of water. Just keep some water at your desk, on your nightstand, wherever you are, and take little drinks when you're thirsty. If you're not sure if you're hungry or thirsty, take a little drink of water. But I'm not saying that you have to drink an excessive amount of water either. You just need to keep water with you so that you're not mistaking your your thirst for hunger. Okay? Anyway, I've talked way too much about that, but I'm going to give you like 3 more minutes in the kitchen. So hopefully that might have given you some food for thought. Um, that's just kind of what's working for me right now. I'm just in the habit of eating less at this point, and now it's no longer difficult, but nothing's 100% off limits. If somebody bakes cookies, I'm going to eat one. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not allowed to have that. You see what I'm saying? That's not sustainable. But again, I said I was going to stop talking about this. So let's finish up your kitchen. Hopefully by now you've cleaned the surfaces as far as the higher surfaces. And maybe it's time to sweep, or maybe you're going to sweep your whole house at the end or vacuum your whole house at the end. Maybe you need to sweep and mop now, but it's time to wrap things up in the kitchen if you want to. If not, maybe you're on a roll and you want to just keep organizing and decluttering your kitchen while you're in there, or detailing a surface. I get that. We've got about 1 more minute in the kitchen, so let's talk about what's ahead while you wrap things up in there. I'm going to give you a choice in this episode, and I know a lot of you love the 1-hour episodes, but things are just really hectic right now. I said I would record more when all the puppies are in their new homes. I have one left. She goes to her new home Thursday. Never doing this again, for a lot of reasons, but I digress. In the next few minutes, when you leave the kitchen, you can either clean a bathroom, get rid of some stuff just in general, like go through your house, removing clutter. Okay, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Or clean a bedroom. Maybe you want to make your bed and get your bedroom vacuum ready or sweep ready by picking up everything off the floor. Okay, maybe you want to dust your TV and nightstands. I don't know what needs to be done at your house, but again, when you leave the kitchen, which it's time to do, unless you're, behind on your dishes, clean a bathroom, get rid of some stuff, or clean a bedroom. And since you know how to clean your bathroom, I'll just have a couple thoughts on that, and I'll talk more about decluttering. Unless you're in a season of life where you have toddlers, I'm really big on making it easy on yourself by keeping your cleaning products in the bathroom so you can do little mini cleans as you go. This will revolutionize your bathroom cleaning routine. Okay? You should have a toilet brush. Again, disclaimer, if you have toddlers that are going to do something gross with the toilet brush or that might harm themselves with chemicals, fine. Don't keep the stuff in there. But this is for the rest of you. Keep a toilet brush in there. Keep some toilet bowl cleaner somewhere in your bathroom. And I get it that not everybody has like cupboards, but you can probably purchase an easy storage solution. You can hang something on the wall. You can put some piece of furniture in the corner. You can put something above the toilet that, for storage. There's a lot of ways you can keep stuff in your bathroom. Okay, you figure that out. But toilet bowl cleaner, maybe some disinfecting wipes, or else paper towels and your favorite cleaning spray. Shower or bathtub cleaner could go inside your shower or bathtub. Okay, because that's easiest time to clean in there. Maybe some glass cleaner and microfiber cloths for cleaning your mirror and faucet. If you keep all these items in the bathroom, there may be just moments that you can do these little mini tasks in between major bathroom cleaning sessions. So, if you feel overwhelmed and you don't have time to clean a bathroom today, maybe just set yourself up for success by putting the right things in your bathroom. While you're waiting for the curling iron to heat up or whatever, there might be some little mini tasks that you can accomplish, okay, while you're in the bathroom. So maybe this is a day that you need to just full-blown clean your bathroom. That's one of the options for the end of this episode. So another option that I gave you was get rid of some stuff. Let me be more specific on what that means. Again, if you're cleaning a bathroom, just stay in there, but we're talking about a few different things. Getting rid of some stuff. The other day, I felt like I really made a difference in my house. I got rid of a lot of clothing, and that it just relaxes me to get my wardrobe down to what I'm actually going to wear and use. And I don't know about you, but I tend to buy shoes and then either they don't work out or I go into a different phase. Same with certain makeup products, they may not work out. And, you know, there's obviously like a reluctance to get rid of something that you paid good money for and you just got it. But one of the ways I get past that is that I give certain items to my daughters. I have 3 daughters and 3 sons. So I give certain items to my daughters, and that kind of softens the blow of getting rid of something. I mean, it makes it totally guiltless, actually, for me, because I feel really good giving my daughter things. For example, Jessica, the other host of the show, I just gave her 3 pairs of shoes. I gave her 2 pairs of dress flats and some flip-flops. Yeah, because I only need 1 pair of black dress flats and I've switched to some different ones. Okay. The other ones are a little snug, and I think her feet are a little smaller than me, so the tan ones were just a little snug on me. And, you know, whenever I think about like these will match my outfit, well, they kind of pinch my toes. I don't want to put those on, you know. And then the other flip-flops, well, I have like 3 pairs of flip-flops, and I'm kind of like hooked on a certain brand, the Rocket Dog ones. So the ones that were not Rocket Dogs, like I don't reach for those anymore. But they were still perfectly good, cute sandals that I used to love, but just don't reach for anymore. So maybe there's someone in your life who would like the stuff that you're giving away. But if not, you can donate to your favorite charity. You can go around your house right now, toss some things. There might be some items in your mind right now. I was talking about shoes. There might be some shoes right now that you need to toss in a bag and, you know, put them out in the back of your car to donate to your favorite charity. What I loved is like when charities would contact me that they were coming to my neighborhood and to mark these bags and put them out by the street. They don't seem to do that in my town, but love that. And some of them you can call and arrange for a pickup. But there's also the option of putting things out in the car. Or if you're like me, you might have someone who like shares a lot of your same tastes and will take the items. And if it's your own child, like, you know what they like. Okay. Like there was this one white shell, I'll call it. It was a sleeveless blouse. And, you know, when I bought it, I envisioned it as being this flowy, summery, white sleeveless blouse that I was going to wear under a black blazer for like job interviews and whatnot. I'm happy with my current job, but at the time, like I was in like interview mode. And it was super like skin tight on me. It was like just constricting. So I was like, Jessica would love this. And of course she did, because she's my daughter. So I know like what she likes. I'm not saying she wants all of the clothes that I'm giving away, but I know which things to give her. So there would be a Jessica pile and there would be a charity pile for just random items that are going to be way too big for her. Okay. Like I said, I'm overweight, but she's not. Okay. So anyway, but some things will work for her that are mine. You know, we have how convenient is it that all 3 of my daughters have similarly sized feet? So yeah, I'm always giving my girls shoes. But yeah, go through your house and get rid of some stuff. It may be clothing, it may be shoes, or it may not be. You may not want to part with any of that stuff. Or maybe you use everything you have, or if you're super organized with clothing, you might be thinking like, why would that get my house cleaner? I have this huge walk-in closet with a bunch of shelves and I love to just walk in and see all this stuff. Okay, if that's you, I know a lot of people like that. If that's you, just ignore this part. But I like to keep things down to a minimum. It's easier for me to find things. It's easier for me to make a decision on what to wear. Things like that. Have you heard of decision fatigue? It's real, folks. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, the other option I said was to clean a bedroom. Maybe you need to make your bed. And obviously, I'm not saying that you have time to clean a bathroom, get rid of a bunch of stuff, and clean your bedroom. It's your choice what you work on. Whenever I think of decluttering, it seems to always take place in my bedroom, but I did recently declutter a closet. That felt really good. My daughter was staying with us. You know how sometimes with adult kids, they're kind of in and out. My middle daughter was staying with us at the time and needed a place to store things. So I cleaned out my coat, the bottom of my coat closet, because a lot of things that I was storing down there, it was just time to part with. For example, there was like a kind of a rolling luggage for kids. It's somewhere in between a backpack and a rolling luggage. Yeah, gave that to Jessica for her daughters, when they, spend the night somewhere, whatever. So anyway, yeah, sometimes you can declutter a closet. For me, a lot of times it's my closet. I do have a walk-in closet, but it's not super spacious, so I have to continually declutter in there because we tend to kind of put things in there as a catch-all. Sometimes you just need to declutter a drawer. Maybe your nightstand drawer is so full that you can't find anything. Sometimes you need to, let's see, what else do you need to declutter? Kitchen. Maybe you have a lot of duplicate items. Maybe you keep buying pans and not getting rid of the older ones. That's a thing. Yeah, I don't know what you need to declutter at your house, but I feel like when I talk about it, something's going to come to mind. Maybe you're okay on clutter. You've recently decluttered. Maybe you have a pile of clean laundry that you need to fold and put away. Okay. We're going to be wrapping this up soon. Hopefully I've given you some things to talk about or to think about. I know that weight loss is not like the theme of the show, and I'm not going to talk about it very often. So if you're new to the show, don't be like, I came for a cleaning show and it was about weight loss and I don't need to lose weight, or I feel like I'm being fat shamed. No, don't think that. It's just, I like to cover a lot of different topics that may be relevant to my audience. And let's face it, a lot of us, weight loss is fairly universal. I mean, it's like the most common New Year's resolution, and a lot of us may still be thinking about that on March 1st. So maybe maybe give the Uncrustables a try, or if you're not lazy, make your own sandwich. But I feel like those hit different. It's something about just, there's no crust on them. They're cold. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought that I'd like them. Obviously, I originally bought them for like busy school mornings. My kids go to a hybrid school where they go to school a few days. It's a private school. They go a few days a week, and then they have like home days where they work from home. And, sometimes school mornings can be a little hectic. I kind of bought them for my 11-year-old son, like, in a pinch. Oh, I don't have time to make your lunch this morning. Grab a couple Uncrustables or whatever. Okay. That's why I bought them, but then I found out that I like them. So I just wanted to throw them out there. Obviously, I don't, they're not a sponsor or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there for you as an idea. But it's more the principle that I'm talking about. Like, the thinking would be, this is only 210 calories, so I can eat 2. But stop trying to eat as much as you can get away with. Try eating 1 and see if that satisfies your hunger. Because the problem with just saying, I'm going to start following my body's natural hunger cues, that's not going to work for weight loss, because your body wants you to maintain your current weight. Does that make sense? Okay. But if you stay busy and you don't eat it out of boredom, 1 Uncrustable with maybe a little pudding cup might do the job. Okay. So that's something I wanted to share with you, just because it's something that's working for me right now. Yeah, and some of us get on these kicks where we eat like the same thing every day. Oh, one of the days that I had an Uncrustable for lunch, my husband made dinner and we had salmon and sweet potatoes. Yes, there was a little bit of sugar and butter on the sweet potatoes, a little salt. It was good, folks. But I feel like it was a pretty small portion and totally hit the spot, totally handled my hunger. It was great. And I also used to think like, okay, maybe some of you are like, yeah, but have you tried intermittent fasting? Okay. Somebody out there thought that. Um, yeah, I have tried this thing like where, you don't eat after a certain time or before a different time. But I have found that when I'm hungry in the evenings, I can eat something really tiny and take the edge off. One Oreo cookie, an ounce of milk with it, just a swallow of milk with it, okay? Or one pudding cup and some bottled water, okay? So I think it's okay to eat something small in the evening rather than just completely fast after 5. Obviously, you don't want to take in a lot of calories right before bed. I get that. But it's okay to have something really tiny, in my opinion. I give you permission. Hopefully, you at least got your kitchen clean during this episode, and then some. And hopefully, I've given you some food for thought about decluttering and weight loss if you need it. I know not everybody needs to lose weight, but if you need it. And sometimes, let's face it, you're just not, you know how they talk about like people have to want to help themselves. Sometimes you're just not in the mood to take weight loss advice. Because I have a friend who's always working out, dieting, and sometimes she'll tell me that stuff and I'm like, yeah, that's really encouraging me. I better get on track. But other times I'm just kind of thinking, I'm not really in that mode right now. I'm focused on other things. I'm just going to eat whatever and keep doing the same thing. And that's okay, because sometimes you're just not in that mode. You have to want to lose weight. And maybe a month from now, you'll go back and listen to this episode and be like, yeah, I'm buying some Uncrustables. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Special thanks to my financial supporters. I'm sorry since it's been so long since I have created an episode or produced bonus content, but I'm going to produce a bonus episode soon for the supporters. And for the rest of you, just keep listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. I promise we're going to try to do better about having an episode every week. I do promise this. I will not do a bonus episode if I'm behind on regular episodes. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to get to next Wednesday and make a bonus episode if Jessica and I are not recording a regular episode. Our regular episodes come first. When we're keeping up on those, we'll also do bonus content. So I hope that makes sense. As always, happy cleaning. I'll talk to you in the next episode.